Guys, what's up? I'm Morgan. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. I'm truly glad that you are tuning in to my content. So in that matter, if you find anything about my content that you happen to like or love, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and like these videos because it helps me out in the algorithm and it helps me out as a content creator, okay? This video is kind of all over the place. I really wanted to film a video, a Q&A at first, like a frequently asked questions type thing, but then my camera died, and then during the process of me recharging my camera, I decided that I wanted to make a swimsuit pattern from scratch. So that's what this video ultimately is about. I'm going to be showing you guys how I create a swimwear pattern from scratch with my own measurements. You can do your measurements. I show you all the measurements that you need to take. I also show you how to mark up your pattern on the craft paper so that you can in turn have a full bikini pattern that you can cut on a fold. The next video, though, I will explain this during the video, but in the next video I'm going to be showing you guys how to construct this exact swimwear pattern that we are creating now. Again, it's from scratch, off the top of my head. I just wanted to have some fun. I didn't want to do too much editing to this video, so I hope you guys like that it's all over the place and this is just real and raw. So I'm going to stop talking. It's been a minute already. I love you, and you know, stay tuned. So I'm sitting here and I'm just going through my schedule right now. I'm about to start filling in my July schedule. You can see it's blank. My birthday is coming up on July 4th. And I'm just filling in my schedule. I'm about to open up my calendar for consultations again. This time I'm going to do it publicly. I've been running my consulting business and my coaching business just through referrals, and it's been amazing. So I'm going to open it up because I know a lot of you guys have been asking me when am I going to do consultations, or whenever I can, you know, schedule in, let you know. I'm letting you know now that I'm about to open up my calendar for July. I will announce it the day that it's actually open for you to book. But yeah, you can book a strategy call and you can do website audits, or you can do an Instagram audit if that's what you want. And I'm going to try to help as many of you as I can. So I'm going to do an intro fee, an introductory fee for everyone the first week that I actually open my calendar, so you can get in on a more affordable price than my normal prices. So that would be great. And the next thing is I've been getting a lot of questions lately. My DMs are like booming, and you guys know if you DM me, I respond back. I like to talk to you guys and help you guys wherever I can, because I know what it's like to not have information, okay? And it sucks. So a lot of people have been asking me lately, even on the old videos, my first couple of videos where I talked about how I started my brand with $500. People have been asking me how I flipped that, how I made that $500 back overnight. So basically, you guys, to give you just like a quick answer, I answered that question a bit. I talked about that a bit in my video where I said how to build your fashion brand's email list. So what I did was, when I started my brand, I created an email list, and that was the first thing I did. I started promoting my email list on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. I started promoting it, and it started getting a lot of people signing up on it, which was awesome because I wasn't expecting that at all. And 2 days before I launched, which was June 16th, on June 16th, I sent out an email saying that in a couple of hours you'll be able to shop my site first. You have the exclusive rights to shop my site first, and I offered a promo code as well, so they got a discount on top of being on the email list. Only the people on my email list was able to shop my website a full day before I launched. So on June 17th, my email list, they had a code that you can put in, like a little password that you can put in to enter the site. And only the people with that password were able to enter the site, which was everyone on my email list. And they shopped the site, and I instantly made back my $500 because of my price points. And then the following day, on June 18th, is when I launched my brand, and then it was open to the public. I posted it on Instagram, blah, 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 and I made more money. So that's, in a short sum, how I made my money back instantly overnight. My investment of $500, I made that back because I created exclusivity through my email list and a promo code. But if you want to hear more about that, just watch the videos. I'll link them down below, the 2 videos, how I started my brand with $500 and how I made it back by creating an email list. They're linked in the description box. More questions that I've been getting lately is basically, should you do manufacturing first, like go straight into manufacturing, or should you sew up your own designs and then start selling? And my answer for that is, if you can go straight into manufacturing, obviously that is a beautiful thing, because it will teach you the importance of, one, budgeting, but it will also make you want to sell your products faster because of the investment that you put in to the manufacturing process, because that's not cheap. Okay, let's just throw that out there. It's not cheap. And on the other side of that is, if you know how to sew and you know how to create your own designs and patterns and things like that, or if you have the patience to learn how to make your own patterns and sew up your own designs, there's beauty in that as well, because you can create smaller collections and you don't have to go all in terms of like using a manufacturer to create a set design, like an actual design that you have to stick to, you know what I mean? So if you want to go the route of doing your own and sewing up your own pieces and making your own patterns, I think that is beautiful, because it will teach you a lot about your style. It will teach you a lot about how you are able to sell your own products, because it puts you in a different position as far as manufacturing, because manufacturing is, once it's done, it's done. You have to sell those pieces. But as far as you making your own pieces, you can make like 2 designs and see which one sells, and then you can sell that, flip that money, and then go back in and do more of that design, or you can do that same design in a different color depending on how you're selling. So it puts you in a different position, and they both make you hustle and make your money back. But as far as like the profit and the turnaround, I think that they equally will do the same thing, because you have to get rid of your manufacturing pieces, because if you can't sell it, you're just gonna be having a lot of back stock and wasted product. That's not cool. But if you're making your own, you can sell 1 or 2 designs and see how fast they sell, and then go off of the most popular one and flip that money, and just keep flipping, because you're able to create your own designs in smaller quantities. So while my camera died, I forgot that what I was doing. I was gonna do a frequently asked questions things, but I kind of just got this whole idea because I really wanted to make another swimsuit. So I'm going to show you guys how I take my measurements to make a pattern from scratch. You can use these guidelines if you want at your own risk, but I'm going to show you guys what I do as far as like how I take my measurements and how I mark them on the paper so that I can create a swimsuit. And then I think, like, instead of posting the video that I wanted to post on Friday, I think I'll post the construction video of these measurements on Friday, like how I put them together, because I feel like if I show you guys right now how to draw out the pattern and then how to sew it up, it's gonna be a hell of a long video. So yeah, let me do that. Let me close this computer real quick. It needs to be charging anyway. Let me show you how I'm going to take my measurements and also get some paper out, because I'm gonna show you guys how I mark it. I'm just gonna use basic construction paper with this, and I'm gonna roll it out. I'll show you guys that in a second. But if you want to follow my guidelines, you're just gonna need a piece of paper. I think I have a blank piece of paper over here. Yeah, gonna need a piece of paper and a pencil, and let's start marking this up real quick. So I'm gonna use a basic measuring tape. Okay, I have on a t-shirt right now. I would take this off and just have on my little, put on a sports bra or something, but I don't know the rules and regulations behind guidelines and all that crap. So I mean, I guess people do swimwear hauls, so whatever. Anyway, so the first measurement on my piece of paper, first write down bust, waist, and hip, okay? So you're gonna write that down, right? Now, the next one you wanna write down, put shoulder measurements, write down the word shoulder. I'll show you this after I finish writing it. Shoulder, put down torso, and it's bust, waist, hip, shoulder, torso. I think that's it. I think that's all I'm gonna do. This is why freestyling patterns can be fun sometimes, because you just have to go with what you know, and make something out of nothing. So basically, take your bust measurements. But when I say bust measurements for this, first you're gonna write down the full, all the way around. Ugh. And because I have on a t-shirt, I'm gonna make sure I pull it a little tighter. But, oh my God, my bust measurements have shrunk. I guess I did lose a little weight. So All right, so you can see the bust measurements, it should go straight across the center of your bust, which is usually the nipple area. But obviously if you have breasts that are really large and they're probably a lot heavier, you still want to make sure it's just around the center of your breast. So mine is straight across the nipple, all the way around evenly across the back. And with this, you don't want to pull it too tight. You just want to kind of keep it just as is, because with your swimsuit, obviously the swimsuit fabric is smaller. So I'm gonna take mine. I'm just gonna write down mine is 39. I lost some weight because I've been dieting. But anyway, the next one, take down your waist measurement. Lower this for a minute. So for your waist, when I say waist, you want to do that. I showed you guys how to do this in a different video, but when you fold like this, wherever that fold is, that's your natural waistline, not where your belly button is, because some people have long torsos and their belly button is lower. So just right where it naturally folds, okay? So for me, I'm just gonna go straight across, and I'm 34 and a half. So hips, ooh, let's see my hips. I don't want my hips to be shrinking that much. Did I do this? I did this backwards. Oh. So hips is around the fullest part of your butt, as long as it's the fullest part of your butt, and all the way around evenly. I'm gonna mark that. And my hips are going to be, if I stand up straight, 40. I'm gonna add that little extra room, so mine's is gonna be a 46. So I'm gonna put 46. So my measurements for reference, if you measure off of my site, usually I'm a size large or a size medium, depending on what style it is. But for this one, my measurements are 39, 34, 46. So yeah, shoulders, you wanna go across from shoulder to shoulder, just boom, straight across, just like that. And do it across the front, because I'm taking the measurements for the front part of the swimsuit. So from shoulder to shoulder, that ain't right, hold on. Let me look in the camera while I'm doing this. I want mine marked up a little bit higher. I'm gonna put 15 inches across. And for torso, okay, so the torso measurements are gonna be a little different, because right now, if you're going off of this swimsuit pattern, you can totally use this, I don't care. I'm just trying to see if my idea works. So for the torso measurement, I'm trying to make a fuller bikini bottom. People have been asking for fuller pieces lately. I know it's because a lot of people don't like their whole butt out like I do, so I'm trying, y'all, bear with me. But for my torso measurements, I'm not going to measure my actual like torso from here to here. I'm going to measure my torso from where I want the cut to start. Like if you do a sleeve or if you do a tube top, you want to measure exactly where you want the cut, you know, the angle to start for your swimsuit, and then measure it down to where you want the cut of the bikini part to hike up. So let me drop this down a little bit, see if y'all can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so for me, I want to do just a one piece, a basic one piece. I'm going to start my cut just like usually right where that bra line is. You can't see it because I'm wearing black, but it'd be a bra line. I'm going to start mine right there. And I'm just going to take it straight down to where I want my bikini to come to rise, or where I want it to go further. So because I want it a little bit more full, I'm going to bring it out a little bit instead of up. So I'm going to measure mine down to about, think about right here. So I'm going to do 11 inches because I'm going to add, I'm going to do 11 inches because I'm going to add the seam allowance. So I'm going to put, for the torso side measurement, I'm going to do 11 inches. Also, failed to mention this, I'm sorry. Also write down shoulder to crotch. So, and you can put that as full torso. That's a better measurement. So just put full, because that'll give you the height of your piece, the front. So I put full torso, and then I put front. And what I want to do is take my measurement from that shoulder all the way down to the crotch. And you want to not do the crotch straight. You want to actually go in a little bit, because that's where the seam would be, just like on your regular like panties or something. That's where the seam would be. So you want to take it all the way down. You go in just a little. Make sure you're standing straight so you get the right measurements. Oh, let's see. So 32 inches, I'm going to measure down. And then for the back measurements, now these are going to be the same. So this is going to be the full piece, right? And then the front torso is going to be the front. Now if you're going to do straps or whatever, like shoulder straps, then the measurements from here all the way down, it's going to be slightly different. Only because it's going around your butt. Usually the front is down and then the back goes down and then out for your butt. For me, I'm going to lower the cut. I just want to do one shoulder, I think. So what I'm going to be measuring from is the center back part, which is still going to be the torso length, the side torso. So mine is automatically going to start here, and I can do that just from my side. I'm going to start here, and then actually no, I'm lying. It's going to start. This is kind of hard to do by yourself. If you have somebody else to do this, have them do it for you. So I'm gonna measure right here, which is still about even on the torso area. I'm gonna take this all the way down under, and you're gonna go to wherever you stopped your crotch measurement, which is down and then around a little bit. So go down and around, and I believe, what is that? It says 23 inches. I'm gonna take mine to 22 just to be safe, just, you know, take it a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna put the back torso, just put back to, I'm gonna put mine at 22. Do your measurements, don't do mine, do yours, okay? So I'm gonna do that, and then that's the full size of my piece. Now it's time to construct. It's time to use these measurements here. See, I wrote them down. These are the measurements. And it's bust, waist, hips, shoulder, torso, full torso front, and the back. So those are the measurements that I just wrote down. Now with these measurements, okay, I'm going to get my paper out and I'll show you guys how to align it, basically, which we're gonna do together. So BRB. Okay, so you can see I have my craft paper already laid out. I already marked up a couple of measurements just to speed this process up. So the first thing that I did was made sure that I had an even straight line to go off of immediately. So what I did was took my yardstick ruler and I just measured all the way down, just an even line, and marked it all the way down my paper just so I can have enough space to actually make my full pattern. And then the next measurement I did was I took my yardstick and I went from the top of the paper all the way down to 32 inches, which was my full torso measurements. And you need the full torso in order to make a full one-piece pattern. So I did that, and I went down to 32 inches where what my paper says, and then I marked a line straight across just like that, which is the line that you see here. I marked it just all the way across, and then I took my other ruler and I divided my body in half, which was my shoulder length. So I started off with the shoulder length of 15 inches of what I wanted to measure my bikini at, and so I split that in half and ended up with 7.5 inches. So what I did was at the 32 inch line down here, I took this ruler and I went in 7.5 inches and I marked it right here. So that's 7.5 inches. That would be the center of my body, like the crotch line. It would be the center all the way down my swimsuit. So what I'm going to do now from this step, sorry you guys are looking at a lot of stuff, but from this step I'm going to take my ruler again. I'm going to stay on that 32 inch line. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to go in, because this is, remember, this is the center. Okay, so I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to go in 1 inch like that. I'm going to mark that 1 inch. So now we have the crotch, which is going to be that part plus 1/4 inch, which I'll grade later. But so I'm gonna go in 1 inch, okay? So from that 1 inch line, what I'm gonna do is, if you didn't do this measurement, I just thought about this now, but you don't, I mean, you can do this. You wanna take the crotch measurement diagonally, because this is gonna be the curve, like where your thigh goes. This is, consider this your thigh, like your, you know, your thigh from your bikini line right here. So this is how high up I'm going, because this is what's going to determine the next measurements. So I measured mine, and I'm going to take it from that inch line right here, and I'm going to just make a diagonal line, and at 13 inches I'm going to mark it. I'm going to mark mine at 13 inches. You can follow this pattern, especially if you're a size large. This is going to work out. If you're not a size large, like I said, go with your measurements, okay? Use your own measurements And if you are a size medium, you would take this down to like 12.5. So instead of doing 13 inches, you would do, you know, 12.5. If you are a size small, you would take this and you would bring it in, and you can do 11.5, in between 11 and 11.5. If you're extra small, take that in, and you're gonna go in to like 10.5 to 10 inches, because, you know, the smaller your body is, the smaller the measurements get. So I'm gonna mark mine at 13 inches. If you can hear the air, it's because my window's open and I'm just not closing it because it's hot, okay? And I don't feel like cutting on the air. Bear with me with the planes going by. But anyway, so now we have this marked at 13 inches, okay? So the next one we're gonna follow is the what is it called, the torso line. You remember the torso line on the side of the body that we did, from like the strap, the bra strap down to the length that you want. So that's the next measurement I'm going to do, and that measurement is going to be done with this ruler right here. You can do this with any ruler you want, guys. I just keep on switching to different rulers. So from this line here, I'm going to measure up 11 inches. So I'm just going to place this, whoops, automatically on the 11 inch right here, just like that, and I'm going to mark it right there. So from that line, move this out of the way, from this line to that line is 11 inches, okay? That's the exact measurement that I have for my torso length. I left that alone. I didn't have to split that in half or anything. I just left it alone. So far we are great, guys, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is add in my curves and things like that, my curving lines that is going to form the one piece. So the first thing I want to do before I even get into the curve, I'm gonna take my ruler again, and just like on the what is it called, just like on the crotch, how we went in a ½ inch for your shoulder, because you have to remember that this is the center and this is not your actual shoulder right here. Your shoulder, if this is the center, your shoulder is going to be on this side of the paper over here. So wait to do this part, okay? I just want to make sure you don't go ahead and try to mark in your shoulders, because you have to remember this is the center of your body, not the outside. This is the center. So the first thing I'm going to do, I know I'm flip-flopping and I apologize, but again, this is freestyling patterns. I'm going to take this ruler, this little curve ruler. You can do this by hand if you want. You don't have to use a curve ruler. I just have it, so I'm going to use it. You want to take the measurement and curve it from that inch line that we did to the 13 inch line, and I want it to be about there. So you see how that line goes? You see how it's starting to curve into that bikini pattern? It's gonna merge just like that. But what you want to do is you want to straighten out some of these. You want to bring this up just a little and then curve it, so when you sew it, it lines up better. And then same thing for the hip. You want to bring it out a little, extend the line, and then curve it down just like that. So it's kind of square and then down, and then when you get down here, it just goes straight down into that line, just like that. So you're kind of creating that curve. So remember, this is like the open leg part, and this is the crotch, okay? So to make things easier on yourself, I think this is a good time to draw in your center. Okay, so for the 1000th time, my good old camera here overheated and died. So we're gonna continue on my phone. Now is a good time, you guys. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get this light. I don't know. Now's a good time to draw in the center front line. And the center front, like I said, is that first marking that we did right here. You know, that marking, and you're gonna draw it all the way up to the front of the paper. So you just wanna mark it. That's where we went in the full 7.5 inch over for me. I don't know what your measurements are, but we need to make sure it's just a straight line. All right, see, we have a center front line now. That is the center of the bikini. So I don't know if you can see the shape happening. I hope you can. So you can kind of see the shape happening right now, okay? So what you're looking at is the crotch, center crotch. Then we went over an inch. We drew that inch all the way up to that 13.5 inch mark, and then this is the side. up 11 inches, and now we just have to deal with the top part, creating our shoulder, creating the shape of whatever it is that we want our bikini front to look like as far as like the top part of your body. So with those measurements, like we said, we went over the 7.5 inches, which is the center front line, right? So depending on what kind of top you want, whether it's a full, you know, the scoop bottom, I'm trying to draw it on the back. So you can have different types of tops. You can have that scoop type bottom where it's a scoop and then it's a shoulder and then it's down like a tank top like that. You can have the scoop that goes like that and it's just off the shoulder and then it goes down like that. You can have any of those. I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna try to do one shoulder just to make it, I don't know, different. So in order for me to do this, what I have to look at in terms of my body is understanding where you want those lines to go. So if this is that torso line that we did from the side of your body all the way down to that hip area that you want it to stop at, you need to understand that the curve is going to go immediately from there up, okay? So with my 11 inches right here, I'm going to use a smaller curve ruler, which is this one. I'm going to take it, and this is where it, you would hook this. I'm trying to show you my body. See, you would hook that like that. It's so dumb. You just hook it under there. So you would look at the bikini in terms of this, okay? So for my little hook, yeah, okay. So for my little hook, I want my hook to go like this. Let me see. Where do I want to place this? I want it to be kind of wide, but not so wide that it's annoying. So that little hook right there, if you're going to freehand this, you just want to make sure you're going in from this line, that line, not from outside of the pattern. So I'm going to go in from this line here, and I just want to draw mines. I'm going to freehand it a little bit. Just going to bring it up. Just a little bit. See how I just bring it just in, just slightly. And I'm going to take this ruler. I freehanded that, guys. If you want the measurements for this, I basically took it in from that side line and I went in fully about, that's not the right side. I went in 2.5 inches. So from here, from that outside body line to this full line is 2.5 inches, and then I just curved it into that 11.5 inch mark. So this is 2.5 inches inward, basically. So because this is the shoulder, went inward like that, and I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over 1.5 inches, which is right here. Just gonna mark that 1.5 inches. And because this is where the neckline would go, you're gonna bring this down to wherever you want your, however low you want your neckline. So for me, again, I'm gonna freehand it. I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit. You can make this as deep as you want. If you want accurate measurements for your own bust line, you can take your measurements and just take it from that center area and drop it down however low you want. So I'll do that for you guys. So for me, that center bust line, or how much cleavage I would want to show, would be about 5 inches. So from here to here, I'm just gonna mark 5 inches, which is right here, and that's where I would curve the line. So I'll take this down and curve that in. That's where the 5 inches will go. So that is the neckline right here. So this is, see how it's the one shoulder strap? It'll go like that. and then this is the neckline. It'll go down like that. Let me move all of this out of the way. So when you mark your pattern, you will put center front or CF. You will put crotch, side seam, one shoulder, neckline. And when you cut this out, it's going to be just the lines that you marked, these lines. Like that. And add a 1/4 inch to your seam allowance. If you are in between the sizes of extra small and extra large, add a 1/4 inch to this. So I can freehand that. That'll be a 1/4 inch right there, and then it will also be a 1/4 inch down and over, just like that. See, you add a 1/4 inch, not to the center front, 1/4 inch to the outside. Okay, this part, because this is where all the seams are going to be when you cut it on a fold. So just go out 1/4 inch, just like that. Drop it down 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch over here on the neck, and there you have it, the front of your pattern. So now that you have the front of your pattern, you're probably wondering how to do the back of your pattern, and I'm going to explain that right now, because the back is the easiest part and it's going to go by super fast. So you remember we took that back measurement from the back line from the same part of the shoulder, I mean not the shoulder, the armpit area, and you was just going to go straight across through the back. So what you're going to do is look at your back measurements. Mine was 22, and if you measure this correctly, you should be able to go to this line right here, the crotch line, and it should automatically be 22 inches from this area all the way up to this area. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that right now. So from my crotch line right here that I marked all the way up, I did this backwards. Yes, I did. Okay, sorry, flip over the ruler. So from this crotch line, and I lay this flat, 22 inches is right here. So from this line, it should meet up with that 22 inch mark, and voila, magic. It's literally 22 inches. It's the perfect spot, right? So what you want to do here is you're going to mark, you remember that line that we did at the 32 inch mark down here? You're going to take your ruler, and it should go all the way across. So it should actually be your full measurement across that, what is it called? That, I'm losing my train of thought. Oh, that that shoulder width apart was, remember, it was 15 inches all the way across, and this is because this is the center. You just want to make sure you add that. So oops, let me go over. So this would be 15 inches all the way across if I added space, because I didn't roll out my paper far enough, but it'll be 15 inches across. So let me fix my paper to do this for y'all. So I'm going to roll my paper out some more so you guys can see the full thing. I'm going to tuck that down for a second. All right, so the full measurement would be from that side line and then 15 inches up. To roll it up some more. So I'm going to mark that. So this is 15 inches all the way up into here. I'm going to roll that out the way a little bit and mark it right there, and boom. All right, so you can see the edge of that is 15 inches, and I just made it go all the way across. So now you have the full back, right? And I am a mess right now. And again, all right, that's better. And the same thing from this line, that shoulder line, all the way across, should automatically be, where is it? I'll do it this way. Line it up. That's 15, which ends right here. And all the way right here. Is that straight? Yeah. So that's 15 inches right there. So that's the back line to go across, right? Now you can get fancy with this. You can do a dip back where it kind of curves in, or you can go straight across. It depends on what you want. I'm just gonna leave mine straight for now. And the same thing with the back measurements. For the back, like the butt part of the back, you can do yours the same equal length, like hip wise. You want it to be the same because that's where you're going to be sewing at. So just for right now, I'm going to have you, or not just right now, for your actual pattern, you're also going to mark this line across 15 inches, that hip area, the first notch where you did your hip, and you're going to take it and just draw it all the way across, because that's again 15 inches. So from here to here is going to be a straight line, right? You kind of want to bring this in just a little bit, because you know your body curves, so it's okay. Just mark a straight line to connect that. So that's the back across, and then that's the back down until you get to that butt area. And for your butt measurement, you can make this a high hip or you can make it a low hip. It just however you want it. Again, you want to take your measurement. You want to go in an inch before you mark it. Take it in an inch, okay? Just like that. That's an inch. And you can mark how high or how low you want it. Because I want this to be a more fuller bottom, I'm not going to curve it as much. I'm just going to lightly bring it down to here. So I want to take this and I want to go out a little further than I would on the front. So I'm going to take it out, and then I'm going to bring this one, kind of curve it in. And you see, this is it's just a little bit more full, but I'm keeping the measurements even. So it's just a little bit more full. And you want to do the same thing with the back when you cut it out, and you want to add that 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. I'm just marking dashes right now, all the way around, because when you sew it, it's going to be seamless. So, you know, just like that. So that is center back, back, crotch, side, back tube, boom. Now you have a front pattern and a back pattern. Now I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when you cut it on a fold and you want to have a whole piece, a whole pattern or something, or if you want to leave it like this. I like to keep mine in half because you know to cut it on a fold, you know what I mean? So all you do is cut this down the middle. I'll show you in a second. Hold on, let me show you. I'm going to get off camera and cut this. No, I'm not. I'm going to stay on camera and cut it so you can see me. Sorry. All right, so for the cutting part, I'm going to use just regular scissors. And I'm going to start with this part. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it. And I'm using the seam allowance to cut this, you guys. Get rid of that. Gonna cut that. That's the seam allowance, like that. And then I'm gonna start on this side and cut this up with the seam allowance. Like that. I'm gonna cut mine outward with the seam allowance on this side, 1/4 inch. Drop that on down. Then I'm going to take this and cut straight down the middle of this pattern. You don't add seam allowance to the center front, okay? Don't do that, because you already added it on the outside, so you don't need to do that. And if this crotch is too slim for you, you can always add 1.5 inches, 2 inches, however it is to make you feel more comfortable. All right, so you can see that the front bikini pattern is cut out, and now you will cut out the neckline, and you want to add that 1/4 inch. All right, so let me try to lay this out. The paper is kind of folding. I might have a little weight. So you can see that? That's the front of the bikini. That's the front. Okay, now let me cut out the back piece. Set this aside. For the back, I'm start up here with the 1/4 inch allowance. And before anyone asks, I know I didn't add the shoulder strap to the back, and that's because from the shoulder strap on the front, in my mind, I wanted to add a individual strap piece, so it would be a strap which you cut separately, and I'll show you in a second. Show you in good. Cut this 1/4 inch off. And then 1/4 inch up. So this will be the two part of the back and down, and again you will cut this on a fold. So your fabric will be folded, and then this will lay on the fold line. This side, the longer side, will lay on the fold line, and you will cut it out like that. So when you open it, you have a full back piece. So that's what that will be. Now for the strap, like I said, you see how this is? So basically when you have your bikini, let me lay this out for you. If you were to put these together, right? Is the correct way? Yeah. You see when you put this together, like this is the back one right here. And you line it up with the shoulder. And you line it up across. And then you line it up going all the way down, right? I'm gonna set this here to try to lay it flat as I can for you. So you see, it's not even. Okay, put that at the shoulder. Okay, so you can see how it's even. You can't see the back piece. The only part of the back that you can see is the wider, the fuller bottom. That's what I was talking about. See how it went out a lot more than the front piece? Like the front is more up on the hip and the back is more of a full bottom. So that's what it would look like on your body. Just picture this as one full piece, right? So that's what it would look like. That's what I mean by freestyling bikini patterns. Is not hard if you use your own measurements. Sometimes you just have to kind of go for it, and you're gonna mess up. You know, this is probably a mistake, you know, but I won't know until it's time to sew it together. But so far this looks like a great pattern. So it will look like this. Now as far as the back, you see how it's no connectors, there's only a shoulder. You need your shoulder piece to connect to something. So what I was thinking in my mind was to use the shoulder strap and make a bow to where it goes down into the back. So you would need a strap from here, and you would need a strap from here. And in order to get the strap measurements, what you would do, I'm not gonna measure this out. I usually freestyle the straps until I get the right length, because it's gonna take trial and error to do this. But what you would do is measure this out, right? Because remember we did this. You can measure the full amount, so that way you already know it has seam allowance. And mine is it's basically 2 1/4, but you can do 2 inches. 2 1/4 is basically 2 1/4 inch. So do 2 inches and then add 1/4 to that, basically, and you'll have the same measurements as this, right? And you can measure however long you want your straps. However long you want the bow to be, that's how long you would measure it. So for me, I usually start off with the length of this ruler, and that is 18 inches. I usually measure this full ruler to do a strap, and then after I start tying it and seeing the length and how I like it, then I start shortening it, or I'll make it longer. But for now, I start off with the length of the strap. So I would do one strap that's 18 inches, or 2 straps, I'm sorry, 2 straps at this length. So you would do 2 inches, the length of whatever you measure your top at. You would do 2 inches wide, 18 inches long. That would be one strap. You would do it again, 2 inches wide, and the length of the strap. So you can have one for the back and one for the front. So tomorrow or Friday's video, you guys, I'm going to show you how to sew this up. I'm not going to do it in this video because it's already long, but I just wanted to show you how to make a bikini pattern from scratch. And on Friday, I low-key might put it up tomorrow, I don't know, but it's definitely going up next. So I'm going to show you how to actually construct this, okay? So it's really simple. You will cut 2 of the front pieces, 2 of these, and you cut 2 of the back pieces on a fold. You will also cut the straps, though. You will cut, you will double the size of this and cut 2. Okay, I'm going to show you that on the next video. So yeah, let's get out of here. so I'm sweating. Okay, it's hot. Y'all hear the gardeners won't give me a break. All right, so you guys, I just basically showed you guys how to make a bikini pattern from scratch using your own measurements. Obviously, give and take, the measurements are clearly going to be different because we're all different sizes, but this is the gist of making a bikini pattern from scratch. That's why it was all over the place. I wanted to give you guys the real look of it and not edit this down to where it's like, do this, do this, do this. I wanted to show you guys the actual process. But again, like tomorrow's video, or it's either going to post tomorrow or on Friday. I'm unsure of the date that it'll post, but I'm going to show you guys exactly how to construct this actual bikini to make it a seamless bikini, not bikini, a seamless one-piece swimsuit. And like I said, with every single pattern that you create, you can manipulate it. So if you don't like the 1 strap, you just add 2 straps. If you don't like straps at all, you just take the straps off and make a tube top. You can add bows to both sides of the shoulder. It just all depends on what it is that you're trying to create at the time. But as you can see, we made this from scratch. It's a full bikini. This should be able to fit me. After I make it, I will try it on, just to more proof and evidence. So I hope you guys like this video. Please give it a thumbs up. I'm struggling over here. Give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys for the next video on how to construct this. So in the meantime, practice this pattern, practice your own measurements, practice manipulating the measurements, and we'll sew this together on the next video.